Hey everyone, welcome to This Explainer. Today, we are taking a deep dive into a really fascinating sociological lens to demystify how digital technology is fundamentally rewiring who we are as a society. I mean, we live in this world where information and communication tech is just evolving at breakneck speed, right? But we rarely hit the pause button to actually think about how it's altering the very fabric of our communities. So, think about it. Is technology just a tool? Or is it a shaper of reality? It's super tempting to just look at our smartphones or the internet as these neutral little gadgets we use to fire off a text or binge a video. But what if the technology itself is actively molding our social structures, our relationships, and literally our entire perception of the world? That is exactly the puzzle we're going to piece together today, using some incredibly powerful sociological theories. So, here is our game plan for today. We'll kick things off by looking at the digital era and modernization theory, then we'll transition into the information society, explore the whole psychology behind the medium is the message and the global village, and finally, we'll wrap it all up with the real-world social impacts. All right, let's jump right into our new connected reality. To really get a grasp on the modern human experience, we have to start by looking at the massive structural changes happening all around us. We all know information and communication technology, or ICT, has sped things up. But it hasn't just made sending a message faster. It has completely, fundamentally redefined human connection. Think about it. We are now maintaining global friendships and building entire remote careers in ways that were literally unimaginable just a few decades ago. It absolutely demands that we reevaluate what a relationship even looks like on a global scale. Because, you see, technology doesn't just exist in a vacuum. It crashes headfirst into our existing cultures and our daily routines. Take the smartphone, for example. It didn't just change how we call people. It completely structurally altered how we navigate our cities, how we consume the news, and even how we date. It's not just a communication upgrade. It's a full-on structural evolution. Now, to really understand this macro-societal shift, we need to apply our first major sociological lens, modernization theory. So, modernization theory essentially tells us that societies don't just change randomly. They evolve in a straight, linear path. And in our digital era, technology acts as the ultimate engine here, pushing us from older, slower-paced, traditional states right into highly complex, deeply technology-dependent modern societies. You can literally map this journey out in 3 distinct steps. Technology is the primary driver pushing us from step 1, those traditional community structures, through step 2, which is the massive introduction of digital tech, to land us squarely at step 3, a hyper-efficient, totally interconnected modern global society. It shifts how we interact from the ground up, opening up massive new opportunities in education, business, and politics. Which begs the question, what exactly is this modern global society we've suddenly arrived at? Well, it's bringing a completely new class structure with it. There is a fascinating observation by sociologist Frank Webster that perfectly captures this. He points out that digital access does way more than just give us, Wikipedia in our pockets. It actually creates entirely new social classes. In today's world, your status, your power, and your class are increasingly defined by how well you can navigate digital technology. It's a real game changer. And this naturally leads us to the concept of the information society. We've largely moved away from the industrial era, where manufacturing physical goods was the center of everything. Today, the swift, constant exchange of digital data, the production, distribution, and consumption of information is the absolute foundational core of our global community. Manuel Castells takes this idea a step further. He highlights that these global information networks fundamentally alter the traditional boundaries of our daily lives. Whether we're talking about remote work, online education, or digital political movements, these networks facilitate an exchange of data across space and time that completely rewires how we function as a civilization. All right, so we've spent some time looking at the macro, societal level. Now let's zoom in on the individual and shift toward a more psychological and behavioral view. Enter Canadian media theorist Marshall McLuhan. If you've ever heard the phrase, "the medium is the message," this is the guy. Decades before the smartphone was even a blip on the radar, he argued that the technology platform itself, the medium, shapes our thoughts, our perceptions, and our interactions way more than the actual content we consume. Basically, the format itself is what rewires our brains. Seriously, think about your own daily habits for a second. Is it the specific photo someone posted on social media that changes how you interact? Or is it the nature of the app itself? The platform's design, whether it's built for anonymity, endless scrolling, or fleeting 10-second videos, dictates your behavior. The medium truly dominates the message. So what happens when this powerful medium scales up globally? We enter what's called the global village reality, where space and time get completely redefined. McLuhan argued that media actually acts as a reality creator. It extends our human capabilities and fundamentally bends our very perception of time and space. Think about it. Television first introduced us to this idea of a shared space, where millions of people could experience an event at the exact same time. Now, the internet has blurred the line between public and private life entirely. And that brings us to McLuhan's brilliant concept of the global village. Through the internet and electronic media, physical limitations just kind of evaporate. We can communicate directly and instantly with someone on the exact opposite side of the planet, effectively shrinking our vast, massive globe into a single, intimate, and borderless village. So, we have this global village, but what are the actual social impacts of this technology? Because living in a hyper-connected world sounds amazing, but it absolutely comes with a dual reality.
Living in this digital era is honestly a bit of a double-edged sword. On one side, the positive impacts are incredible. Seamless international collaboration, global connection, the ability to share ideas across borders instantly. But on the exact same screen, we are facing some severe negative impacts. Creeping social isolation, a bizarre sense of depersonalization, and a real shift in our fundamental human values.
Let's unpack that just a bit more. Sure, the tech allows us to maintain ties with family overseas and build global businesses. That's fantastic. But the flip side is heavy. Excessive screen time can seriously degrade our face-to-face social skills. We might have, 1,000 followers online, but our deep, in-person relationships can really suffer from a lack of quality interaction. And that easily leads to social media dependency and genuine isolation. Which brings us to the end of our explainer, and I want to leave you with a pretty massive question to chew on. Are you using technology to connect with the world, or is it slowly isolating you from the people sitting right next to you? It's arguably the defining challenge of our information society. Thank you so much for joining me to explore this wildly fascinating topic. Keep questioning the medium, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.